know that there are programs for farmers to assist our farmers, mechanization, training, seeds, post-harvest capabilities, even clustering. And for fisher folks, there are also programs, provision of bankas, fish nets, perhaps training, credit facilities, if any. Looking at, on a macro level, at the spending for farmers and fisher folks, how would you break it down? And you don't have to be precise. You can just give a ballpark figure.
Okay, tama ka. O sige, ano ka na? Hindi, nasaan yun pinakita mo? Okay, if you will look at the budget of the Department of Agriculture, you will see their major programs. They have banner programs. The biggest of them all is the National Rice Program, which corners 38% of the total banner program of the Department of Agriculture. There's also National Livestock Program. There's also National Corn Program. There is also National High Value Crops Development Program. There's National Organic Program. There's National Urban and Peri-Urban Program. There's Halal Food Industry Development Program. There's National Fisheries Program. And then there's Credit Facilities Program. So if you look at the budget of the Department of Agriculture, I guess the entire budget will actually correspond to the needs of our farmers and fisher folks, Madam Chair.
But I was asking about the breakdown, like which has like the ratio.
Excuse me, Rep. Roman, that was the last question.
Okay.
Pwede po tayo
She didn't answer.
sa next round.
Madam Chair, is it okay if we submit? It is
Yes.
it's quite thick. They have different programs and projects under the specific banner programs of the Department of Agriculture.
I think that will do.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll
thank
submit to
you.
the committee, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Secretary Pangandaman. Thank you, Rep. Roman. Next, to ask his questions is Deputy Majority Leader Zia Adyong. Please proceed.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I guess no one in this room will disagree with me if I say that we cannot discuss, even start discussing about progress without first discussing about peace. And recently, Mr. Chair, the President SONA, in fact, a portion of the President SONA speaks about the various successes we had already obtained when it comes to rebel returnees. And rebel returnees in those problems that we were facing previously, Mr. Chair, have already been substantially addressed. Now, Mr. Chair, I noticed in the document that was submitted by DBM that there's a new addition to their Project Convergence Budgeting Program, which is in fact the PAMANA program. And just recently, Mr. Chair, the Moro Islamic Liberation Front has approved the their memorandum discussing about the possible or the temporary stop of the decommissioning process, which in fact affects the entirety of the BARM structure, considering that in this coming October, we will be holding the first regular BARM elections. And we all know, Mr. Chair, that under the peace process, there's two tracks being undertaken between the government of the Philippines and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. One is the political track, and the other one is the normalization track, which basically this memorandum of the MILF is worrisome to a point that I'd like to know, first, Mr. Chair, since the President's priority also is to pursue peace and development in Mindanao, I'm sure Secretary Amina would be more than willing to answer these questions because we came from the same area. Mr. Chair, I'd like to know from the PAMANA program is the one actually handling the decommissioning. Am I correct, Mr. Chair, Secretary Amina.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes. And is the good secretary aware of this new development when it comes to the decision of the MILF Central Committee to temporarily suspend the decommissioning process?
Yes, yes, Madam Chair. I just got hold of a copy of the memorandum from the MILF yesterday. I just saw it online, Madam Chair.
And then just recently, Mr. Chair, also I also came across an article where Secretary Galvez also mentioned, basically saying that the allegations of the MILF has no basis whatsoever because according to them, they have already delivered what has been committed to deliver to the MILF. So I just want to understand, Mr. Chair, in terms of budgeting for the Pamana releases of these livelihood packages, because that's the counterpart for the decommissioned number of decommissioning officers, decommissioned officers of the MILF. Do you have the data, baseline data, as to how do you manage to, for example, prioritize the number of, and the budget that you will be allocating for the Pamana program? Do you have, for example, Mr. Chair, the baseline for the increase probably or the decrease of the Pamana program intended for the success of the normalization track?
If I can just, Madam Chair, under the 2026 National Expenditure Program, we provided 6.3 billion pesos for the Pamana program. And it is divided among agencies. There's a budget provided for the DSWD. There's one for NCIP. There's a sum also that is being managed by the UPAPRU, and there's one also being managed by, wala yan. Walang PhilHealth. So these are, and PhilHealth. So it's the implementing agencies who actually identifies the programs and the beneficiaries of the Pamana program, Madam Chair.
Mr. Chair, is there an increase from the previous budget in 2025 versus the one that is under? I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I haven't glanced over the exact details of these Pamana programs under NEP 2026, but is there an increase or decrease of the Pamana program from last year to this year, Mr. Chair?
There's been a slight decrease of roughly 200 million pesos, Madam Chair.
And which agency is that? Because I believe this is a convergence, parang interagency siya eh. A convergence program eh. So which agency, Mr. Chair, may I ask Secretary Amina, which agency has a decrease in terms of their request for the Pamana funding?
DSWD, Madam Chair. Medyo nabawasan po yung sa DSWD.
Would you know, Mr. Chair, what would be the basis for because of the number of decommissioned, or is there a problem in terms of absorptive capacity? Remember, Mr. Chair, I would presume, for example, that if there's a decrease in the Pamana program, it only goes to say that there are quite a number of decommissioned officers that have already been decommissioned. No? Kaya nga medyo nababawasan kasi tumataas yung nag-decommission ng mga officers nila sa MILF. That's why the budget is also decreases. So I would like to know.
Yes po, Madam Chair, I'm confirming. Medyo bumaba po ang absorptive capacity ng DSWD po. To date, it's only 30%, Madam Chair.
Which Mr. Chair, which regional offices of DSWD has a problem in terms of the implementation of the Pamana program?
I will have to get the information from the DSWD Secretary, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you.
Deputy Majority Leader, please wind up.
Yeah, I'm winding up. Mr. Chair, I brought this up because, Mr. Chair, this will have a bearing in terms of not only of our national security concern, but it was also, in a way, um, it will parang it would go back to zero naman to all the accomplishments we had obtained in the last couple of years. So since we are also looking at the possible elections in farm elections in 2025, that would be a problem if, for example, MLF decides to temporarily halt their decommissioning process. Again, I'm saying this, Mr. Chair. I'm bringing this to the attention of our guests here because the President has mentioned specifically in his SONA that there are various accomplishments in terms of peace process and the rebel returnees. And the first thing that comes to mind, Mr. Chairman, if you talk about peace process, is in Mindanao. And the only actors, I guess, the only actor that...
Okay. Hello, hello. Yan. DML Zia, thank you. That will be the last question. Yes, Secretary Pangandaman will answer.
Oo, baka kailangan po natin pakinggan yung...
Please propound your last question, DML Zia. Thank you.
Sige, Mr. Chair. Ganito na lang, Mr. Chair. May I request, Secretary...
Madam Chair, naintindihan ko po yung gusto kababayan po sa Lanao del Sur. Kahapon lang po namin na-receive yung kopya ng memorandum from the MILF, and I agree that it will greatly affect po our existing efforts with at least for the BARM region kung hindi po natin itutuloy yung mga intervention po. Hello. Mga intervention po sa national government in terms of yung mga pamana projects po at yung normalization programs po natin na nakalaan para po sa kanila. But we will have to sit down with the departments and of course we'll raise the concern po to the Office of the President and to our Executive Secretary yung ito pong matter na to, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Ayoko na magka-urapan ng interruption, so I will stop. Thank you.
Thank you, DML Zia. We apologize for the technical interruption. Thank you, Sec Pangandaman. So next on our list, Representative Filimon Espares. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good evening. Sana wala nang interruption masyado. Hello. Okay na. Thank you again, Mr. Chair. Now, most of my question halos nasagot na rin, no? Natanong na rin ng ating mga kasamahan. But then I have only one concern, Mr. Chair. As I see the presentation ng ating DepDep about the Philippine Development Plan for Economic and Social Transformation, I have a concern here, Mr. Chair, with regards to my sector, no, the cooperatives. Ang tanong ko dito is, paano natin ma-maximize ang participation ng ating sector on this matter with regards to economic participation or development and social justice, or even in this particular, the poverty reduction on even job creation. Dahil recently, Mr. Chair, yung ating mga cooperatives in the ground, medyo nahirapan na rin